iPhone X is the huge leap forward that Apple's handsets needed. Aside from the original iPhone in 2007, this new iPhone is set to have the biggest impact on Apple's smartphone direction ever. Apple itself is calling it the future of the smartphone, the embodiment of what it's been trying to achieve for a decade. But while the iPhone X is all about premium parts and an all-new experience, it's a huge gamble for the Cupertino brand too, as it tries to reclaim some leadership in smartphone innovation. Using key, reliable elements like the Touch ID fingerprint scanner, the home button, introducing new methods of navigating and unlocking the phone, and charging a lot more for the privilege, seems risky for a company that was already treading new ground by doing away with the traditional headphone jack last year. But the iPhone X is the handset we've been demanding from Apple for years, the world away from the increasingly higher designs that those who just want a new iPhone have had to make do with. The fervor around this phone tells that story. Everyone wants to know if the new iPhone X is worth having, partly because it actually represents a new iPhone, and that fervor is such that they don't seem to care about the cost. So, is the iPhone X worth having? Will it change the direction of an industry where many of the specs Apple has put in, wireless charging, bezel-less displays and face recognition, are already on the market? Can Apple put all this together in the way that just works, and create the greatest iPhone of all time? Released on November 3rd. The most expensive flagship phone on the market. Comes in 64GB and 256GB options. It's almost pointless to discuss the price of the iPhone X. It's the most expensive flagship phone on the market, but iPhone users are more willing than most to look past cost. But, while the focus here is going to be on the technology, we still need to at least mention the price and release date. Word is that Apple is looking at a cheaper variant for 2018, as it looks to bring the bezel-less form factor to a lower cost, non-OLED variant. But that's strictly rumor for now. If you want to buy the iPhone X, you can already pre-order it. The window for doing so opened on October 27. We mentioned that because while the iPhone X release date was November 3rd, stock is still rather limited. However, we're seeing more available than anticipated, despite rumors of the phone selling well, so if you want one, it shouldn't be too long before you can get your hands on one. Screen. By far the best screen on an iPhone. Clear, vibrant colors. Notch at top slightly irks, but doesn't get in the way. The first thing you'll notice about the new iPhone is hard to miss. The new screen blazes into your eyes the second you pick up the handset. The 5.8-inch OLED display is, quite simply, the best thing Apple has ever crammed into an iPhone. It sleeps ahead of the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus for so many reasons: the sharpness, the quality, the fact that it fills the whole front of the phone, and the color reproduction. It's also using a new, longer screen, but while it looks larger than the iPhone 8 Plus 5.5-inch display on paper, it's only marginally bigger in terms of actual screen real estate. It's just stretched upwards. The stretched screen is a completely different experience on the iPhone X. OLED technology means you're getting deeper blacks and more blinding whites, so everything from websites to the photos you take will look a little better. Some will point to the fact that Samsung has been using OLED screens on its phones since the first Galaxy, but Apple counters that by saying it's only now that the technology is good enough for its phone. On the face of it, that sounds defensive, but when you use the iPhone X, you can see it's a screen that's incredibly, well, Apple. It's not the sharpest or most colorful screen on a smartphone, but it's clean, crisp, and doesn't suffer from terrible color shifts when you move it around. It's a great display to look at, and that's what you want on a phone. It's also been dubbed the best in the world by the esteemed Display Mate testing, showing that it's the brightest and more color-accurate OLED on the market, and good off-center brightness shifts, showing Apple can tune the tech from Samsung really well. The term bezel-less has been bandied about for the iPhone X, but that doesn't really tell the right story. Yes, there are slight bands around the edges of the screen, but they don't mar the experience. They give the fingers something to land on, preventing accidental touches of the screen. Apple could reduce these further in the future and offer more visually appealing iPhone, but on the X the experience is still striking. Talking of visual appeal, the notch at the top of the iPhone X is something that's going to divide opinion, and that's fair. Apple has taken this little chunk out of the top of the screen to house a new true depth camera, and it encroaches on the display. In portrait mode it's hard to notice it's there, and the way the notifications bar spills around it is nice.